Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Oh, brother.
Sub to IceManIsaac.
Let's go! Did you hear him? He said sub to IceManIsaac. Hey, what's up and welcome everyone to another Warzone Academy video, and we are back with one of the most requested videos in this entire series. It's where we review your gameplay together as a community. All constructive, all positivity. If you want to know how to get your gameplay reviewed, make sure to join my Discord, because that's where we will submit the clips. Follow my Twitter so I can announce when we're going to review clips, because you got to be there when we review them. And then follow my Twitch so you can be there live as we review it as a community. So Discord, Twitter, Twitch, follow those. And we're going to go and get it in today's video. We recorded this a couple days ago on stream. It was actually during a 13-hour stream. And there's a lot of valuable stuff here from all different skill levels. As always, in the comments, in the streams, we keep everything very professional. We keep everything very constructive because this is Warzone Academy. We're here to be better players and better people.
But if you lose, you're done here. Time to earn your freedom, soldier.
That's unlucky. Yeah.
Come on, man. You're heading back to base.
Dang it. So with shotguns, I never like to be holding a close corner, right? So we talk about it with peeker's advantage. So when you're holding that corner,
time to earn your freedom,
right here, even just for a fraction of a second, I never like to be holding a corner so closely that someone could have peeker's advantage on me. And once again, we're going to talk about peeker's advantage here in a second. So holding that corner right here, where all of this is completely obscured, all of this is completely obscured. The only real angle that you're covering is right here, and then maybe this small window right here. Where you need to be holding is just a little bit off to the side to where you can actually, and you will get there in transition for a moment, is hold this. Okay, because when you hold here, this is kind of where you can jiggle peek back and forth. And let's say you pick one spot to aim, right? And we talk about this in my Gulag guide, typically holding in the middle. So you hold this corner, and let's say I'm going to pre-aim right here. You pre-aim right here, or actually with your narrow FOV, you probably couldn't pre-aim there because you would lose this right here. So I would pre-aim right here, and then keep my eyes right here and right here. And what you do is, while you're sitting there, is you pre-aim on the X, and you're kind of jiggling back and forth where your cover is. And then if he comes at X, you aim down sight and you beam him, okay? But if he comes at any of the squares, I guess this is another square he could possibly come from. If he comes at another one of the squares while you're jiggle peeking, you say, okay, I see him. I'm not immediately going to try to snap onto him because he may be pre-aiming me. I'm going to get behind cover and try to reset this fight. And that's where you get into the point where utility gets in, and then you have to play a little bit more tactical. But that's how I start. Before utility's involved, I like to hold one angle and just kind of like sit there and jiggle peek. And then if I see them come from where I'm going, I beam them. If they come from another location, I'm going to back up and reset the fight. So typically what I do, and I showed this off in my Warzone Academy video. So normally you start off, it's like Gulag here. Okay, here's the entire map. Here. Those are like the little showers. Got the little center post. And then sometimes we got a little something in here. A couple little guys right here and here. Okay, you guys get the gist. So typically what I like to do whenever I'm playing in the Gulag,
check views,
is sit right here. Okay, I like to sit here, and then I'll cover two separate lines. Okay, so I'll be holding, and this is like my line of sight. Okay, this is where I can see, and I'll be pre-aiming like one location, right? So while I'm pre-aiming this location, I've got a wider FOV, which is an advantage of being on PC, and I'll like pre-aim this side, right? So I'll be keeping all of this within my FOV, but then I'll be pre-aiming right here. If someone comes here, I'm going to take the fight, and I'm just going to shoot them down. If someone comes to this side, I'm not going to try to hit a godly reflex and snap over to him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back up right here, use this for cover, and then reset the fight. Okay, so if enemy comes, let me see if I can find a different color for the enemy. So if enemy comes right here, I'm going to shoot him. If enemy comes right here, I'm going to back up, use this as cover because now I've killed his line of sight, and then reset the fight. And most times, you know, you get to the point where after this point, you're kind of in this waiting period. You either get the shots off or he flanks you and you get back into cover. Now utility gets into play. And now I might get to the point where, okay, I'm sitting here and I bounce a frag off of this wall, or I bounce a stun off of this wall, and then I swing the corner. That's when Gulag gets a little bit weird. But what I will never do, never, ever, 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 ever do is hold something like this, where I'm hugging a wall and I'm crouched. Because what that does is that gives him the advantage to where he can come in, and then if he swings the corner really hard, I'm dead because he has peeker's advantage. So you always want to be holding a little bit more of an aggressive angle so you can be around him. That works for me because it's on PC. No, I see the exact same plays for people playing on console. Go watch Swag. He plays the Gulag the exact same way. That's exactly how Swag plays the Gulag, and he's one of the best players out there. Now, before going on to help the next player, I'm actually going to ask for your help. You see, SOAR Gaming has paired up together with Care.org, an internationally recognized charity that helps to end poverty, save lives, and achieve social justice. And in the midst of the international crisis we've all been facing, there have been people who have been, you know, disproportionately affected, right? And so Care.org is working around the clock to provide clean water, clean food, masks, and help those who are most affected. Now, I understand. Times are tough. Money is tight. If it's not right for you, I totally understand. Take care of you and yours. But you have the option to donate as little or as much as you want, and we've got some support from our sponsors to maybe help incentivize a little kick. If you look, we've got 4 winners of Control Freaks if we hit over $5, 2 months supply of G Fuel, a SOAR Champion hoodie, a Scuff Gaming controller, and then playing with a member of SOAR. And then I'm going to throw in, if we hit $1,000, we're going to throw in 2 additional Scuff Modern Warfare Vantage 2 controllers out of my own pocket. So I'll leave it at that. We'll get back to the video. Thank you guys all for your support. If you're able to, the link is in the top of the description and the pinned comment. Let's get back to it. Which circles can you outrun? It depends totally on... No circle moves faster than the other that I know of. It just depends on how fat that part of the circle is, right? If that's the original circle, and this is the next circle, right? Obviously, you can outrun all of this. Like, this is super easy to outrun. But if you get stuck on this side and you play it too slow, you might not be able to outrun the fat part of the circle. But if the circle's perfectly in the middle, you can always outrun that. I wouldn't say nothing to work with, but we are right into it. So he is playing trios. One of his teammates is down. He's rocking the iced clan tag, so automatically a plus up. He's positioned himself inside the final circle. A lot of people are going to be rotating into him, and he's chilling right now. Okay. Gas is closing. Final circle, and you're camping. So camping isn't a bad thing in the final circle. Sometimes you got to do it. But what I would say is right now, all of these people are going to have to be rotating into you. Every single person. Oh my gosh, especially all these people in this village. You need to be holding. I hope you guys can see it all right. Okay. All these people are going to be pushing in right here, especially in through this village. You need to be holding on the outside of these houses and gatekeeping them. Because look at all of this open field that they have to run through to get to you, including these guys. They have to run across a road. And so it looks like you're going to be camping inside of this building for a while, and you're not taking advantage of the fact that the zone is pushing people into you. You've got a great rotation because you've made it to the early zone early, or the final circle early, which is good. You know, we talk about the pinwheel rotation always trying to be on the outside of the circle. Sometimes in situations in the final circle or two, it's fine for you to just say, screw the pinwheel, I'm going to get to the, you know, advantageous position, which is what you've done. But you're not really helping yourself out by holding an advantageous position passively. We'll get to it here in a moment and see what you pull off with it. But right now, it seems like we're playing it a little bit too slow. Yeah. Playing this very, very slow. We've got an opportunity to gatekeep, and we're letting it slip.
Going in.
Because what's going to end up happening is you're waiting so long that if someone makes it to you, you're giving yourself an awkward 50-50 gunfight, and you're also trapping yourself. If they're going to C4, RPG, grenade you, if they do get to you, you're just asking to get killed.
Gas is closing in.
Going this
That right there should be like, hell yeah, let's go get this guy. Let's go get this guy. Like, let me see if I can get you to zoom in again. So you've got a ridge line right here. That's natural cover. I mean, you would be standing over it, but you can stand behind this building. There's some debris right here. Obviously, you have to worry about people rotating in behind you. These people have a bit of a high ground and a loadout above you, which is something to be careful of. But yeah, man, I would be a lot more aggressive than just camping in here. Because what's going to end up happening is people are going to either try to push in or push down. And then even if you do somehow win this awkward 50-50 gunfight with them in the midst of the explosions, or you're already down a teammate, like, another team is just going to swoop in. Not everyone is a full sender. Not everyone is a fragger with amazing gun skill. But that doesn't mean you can't hold strong positioning.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Okay, so you're going to be forced to rotate. You don't have the final circle. Okay, now when do we start our rotation? I like the fact that you're moving a lot. That's good. When you're peeking, you're keeping your head moving around so you're not getting sniped. Great habit.
contact.
See, if I were playing this, I would probably have one person holding right here, and then one person just kind of like keeping an eye on the village and the people on the high ground back behind you to make sure you're not sniping. It's a little risky, but I'm a more aggressive of a player. You have to keep in mind, as you're playing this, your back is exposed. But that's personally how I would play it. I think over to the right, you've got a bit more cover where possibly you can hold two angles at the same time. Still just a really passive play. This guy's crossing an open street. He should be dead. Even if one of you is shooting him, you can get the kill while your buddy's watching your back to make sure we're not seeing any lens glints from snipers. Yeah, like you could hold right there. That's probably where I would have been holding the entire time. You've got a cinder block right here and a truck covering your back.
You're losing ground.
I like the push. Really like the push. Nice. Good mobility. Your buddy's coming up with you. Yeah. So actually, you got snake shotted from behind by the guy that was wanting to hold the angle that I was holding. I believe. Yeah. Look where the damage indicator's coming from. He's holding that angle where he's sandwiched in between cover. I still think this is a good push. It's a little unlucky because you didn't clear your right. Your buddy messed up by going down. The worst thing that he can do right there is go down, because here's the play. Even if he's taking shots, watch this. One of the worst things you can do in a squad gunfight is go down. You simply being alive is so incredibly valuable to your team. So even if he goes down and he prones out, okay, little Meese just prones out right there. Him staying alive means that the enemy team is still going to have to focus on him and be, afraid of his threat. Obviously, he's going up against three dudes, really close range, and he gets a little unlucky. But while they push around and swing and try to thirst him, or maybe they jump up over top and try to thirst him, this allows you to get an easy beam on him. So just tell your buddy here. I mean, obviously, it's tough. It's in-game. Everything turns to chaos in the final circle, so not everything's going to be super calculated. But he just needs to stay alive. Even if he doesn't have time to fully plate back up, him being alive is just providing pressure to the enemy team that you potentially can pinch them. Because as with anyone, you crack armor, you start to full send. Then you can beam him. But by him going down, Maze now becomes the only target left, because Maze took the first shots. They're going to know that he's there. And then it's just unfortunate that he gets shot in the back by the snake shots. Me personally, I wouldn't have camped out so early. I would have been playing more of the pinwheel, playing the outside of the zone. That's the whole reason we talk about the pinwheel rotation. Let me pull it back up. That's the whole reason we talk about the pinwheel rotation, right? Is when we're playing along the outsides of these edges, all of this area is clear. We don't have to worry about any of this. No one's going to come behind us. And then guess what? As we're pushing around, we're slowly clearing out everything behind us too. So all we're worried about when we're clearing a pinwheel rotation is this right here. This like little 45-degree angle. We're clearing what's directly in front of us and then just a little bit off to our left, right? We've already cleared out everything behind us because we've rotated through there. We moved through there. So this is clear. We obviously know the zone is clear because you can't survive inside the zone like you can in other BRs. So we're just focused on clearing out in front of us. But when we end up getting stuck behind everyone and we're camping in here, everywhere is a threat. So it's also positioning. But where I have an issue of when you guys decided to hold this angle, you hear all this gunfight going on over here. You wait until the guys are right here to start pushing, right? You want to be catching your enemies and start shooting them as they're right here, because then what that causes them to do is say, oh shit, and then back up and start holding behind cover. And then while they're holding behind cover, you keep taking pot shots at them to where they continually are like uncomfortable. And then eventually that zone is right on their back. And then they're forced to get out of cover. And then you can shoot them while they're transitioning out in here. But instead what you do is you wait to shoot, you wait to make that push until they're right here. And now all of a sudden they can hold that ridge on you and they're just holding your angle the entire time. So you waited way too long to be aggressive, even though it's kind of a scuff situation coming out of a gulag, getting the loadout, getting the cover. I appreciate that. Camping inside of here, you lost too much situational awareness of what was going on outside. So tough luck, man. Thank you for submitting your video. I know you're going to be around the community for a long time, so I hope to see another one of you playing a little more aggressive. Thank you for submitting the clip though, Mace. I appreciate it, man.